I'll entertain a motion to exit executive session.
So moved.
Motion's been made.
Second.
And second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lombardi?
Yes.
Mr. Bassett?
Yes.
Mrs. Jovianis?
Yes.
Mrs. Mayo?
Yes.
Mrs. Vada?
Yes.
Okay, we're out of executive session. I'll entertain a motion to seal the record.
Motion to seal the records.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, I think let's go to a pledge of allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just for the record, there were no votes taken in executive session, but we will take some votes right now of items that were in executive session. On the superintendent's evaluation,
I'd like to make a motion to forward the draft copy of the superintendent's evaluation to him for review and input.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. In regards to the district school emergency response plan,
I'll make a motion to accept the district emergency plan as drafted by the superintendent.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Does anyone want to make any public comments or community comments? Okay. Sure, I'm going. Let's move to the consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions or want to take anything off the consent agenda? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda in total.
So moved.
Motion been made.
Second.
Second, let me roll call us to the system.
Mr. Lombardi?
Aye.
Mr. Bassett?
Yes.
Mrs. Jovianis?
Yes.
Mrs. Mayo?
Yes.
Mrs. Vada?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Superintendent, your report?
I just want to make mention of October 24th on a Wednesday is Northman Night. Last year, our first Northman Night was back in April. We've moved it forward to the beginning of the year. All the 7th and 8th grade families have been invited, as well as anybody interested in exploring our CTE programs. In fact, there should be something in the Valley Breeze Thursday regarding Northman Week. So we have a lot of materials that are going out, and we're looking forward to a fantastic night, just showcasing everything that is available at the high school.
Great.
Obviously, all of you are invited, and but we will have more information and more postings coming out for this great week. Under the facilities update, I just want to thank everybody for attending last night's kickoff meeting to take a look at the plans for NSES and discuss the other plans we have going forward. Next week, Studio J will be meeting with the science department at the high school to sort of finalize and trim down the designs and the plans and the thoughts around the new science labs. And so essentially now that with Gilbane on board, with Studio J, we're going to be moving fairly rapidly to get things in motion. The other item on the strategic plan, I don't really have anything to add to that for this meeting because last month I was spending a lot of time working on the emergency plan. Now that that's put aside, I can switch focus back to the strategic plan. And then finally, with the grade level reconfiguration, so we've been meeting regularly with the principals from the elementary schools and the middle school to work out the 4th and 5th grade movement and what things are going to look like next year. I'm hoping that at the next school committee meeting in November, we'll have a presentation ready for you from NSES and from the middle school that's going to give you an overview of what we're looking at in the way of personnel, because we're also moving into budget season. What we're looking at in the way of the schedule and how that's going to fit together, and the opportunities for the kids, both before school and after school, as well as options for the transportation. So we should have a fairly decent package for you to wrap your minds around. What we were intending is that by January, we'll have enough will be in place that we can start doing orientation for the parents and the students for next year. So again, we don't want to wait till April or May to do these orientations. We want to bring it up right at the beginning of the year and inform the parents and take their information and their concerns and still make modifications while we can. So again, we're moving pretty rapidly with this. That concludes.
Wow. And so in regards to the facilities update, thank you, and thank you for all the work you've done on that. Obviously, I don't think we could have done it without you. So, took the bull by the horn, and you made it happen. So we all appreciate that. Your staff, thank you very much. And the school, I think that was a great event yesterday, and hopefully that's just the beginning of reconstruction of schools. So, I mean, just for discussion, I guess, in this area, the $250 million that the governor has put aside, that the governor has put on the ballot, hopefully that passes. Do we have access to that money? I mean, do you know anything about it yet?
We have been told that because we submitted when we did,
Right.
they're going to honor it. So, yes, we are in the first round that if the bond passes, we will be eligible for the additional incentives.
Great.
The folks of the year before us, not so much. So we've timed this.
Great. What about now, for example, we already have, I believe, in our plan, let's just say the windows at the high school. Would that be something in the future that we could tap into to get that done?
Yes, that would be eligible.
Great.
But there's a little caveat. The windows that are eligible for reimbursement are probably more expensive than if we just replace the windows ourselves.
That's like my wife going to a sale at Kohl's, by the way. You know?
Yes, exactly.
It's not a sale if you don't need it.
No. So that is very much something that we're balancing.
Okay. Thank you. Fiscal year 19 budget? Anything? Anybody? I'm just moving through. If anybody has any questions. 20 operating capital budget? You're working on it, right?
I know the timelines in your packet for your review.
What is it? Is it in it? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, 10 months.
All right. And
I'm sorry, can I just,
Yeah, sure.
can I just say something about the timeline? In my past life, as a school committee person, we had a workshop or a roundtable on a Saturday morning, and I see you shaking your head, Lisa, so I'm hoping that maybe you can help me remember this. But we met on a Saturday morning, and we included all the stakeholders, the town council, the town administrator, the budget committee, the school committee, and it was great because everyone heard the same information at the same time. And they had a chance to ask questions, and everyone heard the same answers at the same time. And I don't know even where that might fit into this timeline, but I'm just throwing it out there as an idea because for some reason I just felt that this past year, there needed to be a better understanding of the reasons for our budget by those making the decisions. And that's not a criticism, it's more like constructive criticism, because I just felt it was necessary. So I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know where it would fit into this timeline, but it's a thought, because it seemed to work well, and people had a better understanding of why our needs were there and where we were coming from.
Great, that's a great idea.
Would you like to do it Saturday or one evening?
Whatever works best for
Right.
people.
I
but-
think poll everybody.
Oh, everybody, yeah, that sounds good. In my previous districts, we also did budget workshops. All the superintendent, the department heads, the school committee, and they would last about 2-3 hours. Sometimes we'd have 2 nights of them, and yes, it was very constructive.
So I think that was done after the budget was submitted to the town. It might have been in the
Oh,
spring that we did it.
It was so long ago that I just don't remember.
I believe it
So-
was.
But I think that's an excellent idea to do it before. I mean, I know sometimes it's too much before, or, we really don't know our numbers until the last minute. But if there's some way we can fit that in and invite everyone, so it's, open, transparent, everybody, like you said, hears everything at the same time. I think that's an excellent idea, if it's even possible. Let me say that.
So that would have to be in January.
I mean, even if it's done after we submit it to
Right.
the town, there's still time to make changes, based on people's suggestions.
Right.
And we'll have more information about the move.
Right, and the other thing is that when I said in my previous districts that we would hold those budget workshops, we weren't submitting our budget until March. That's when it was due, so there was more time and we had more information as the year went on. And so we had an early timetable.
Right, I guess
That's
we,
always been the issue.
yeah. So we submit it, and then maybe when it gets to be more concrete, we can then have a budget workshop with everyone and say, all right, here's the real, here's the budget after all of the information. This is what's happening. This is what we need. Anybody have any questions? We can try to go through everything. Excellent idea. And just one more thing, I want to thank both Mrs. Mayo and Mrs. Vada for working on the evaluation for the superintendent. I know that's a lot of work. Not a lot of thanks. But thank you. Anybody have anything else? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. We're adjourned.